I'm going to talk about periods now. Whenever some girls hear the word period, they freak out because they probably think about theirs and maybe it's not such a pleasant experience. So there's a doctor that really inspired me a few years back. Her name is Christiane Northrup. Do check her out because she does really interesting things about women's health. And she done this talk which I watched, Women's Health, Women's Body, Women's Wisdom, Women's Bodies, and it just blew me away because what she talks about is how we've been geared to fear our body at every single stage, as if it's something to be really scared of throughout our lives. So at the beginning, puberty is something that we frightened ourselves with. Having a period is seen as like, oh no, my period, like pain, anger, premenstrual syndrome, all these problems, heavy blood loss, anemia, and then we move on into as we get into more adulthood, childbirth is feared. Oh, it's a dangerous thing. Then we get older, menopause, it's a dangerous thing. Or, it's going to be suffering. There's so much suffering attached to all these things. Breast cancer, cervical cancer, everything's been geared to fear. All of these parts of the female body that actually serve us so greatly if we took the time to look at it. So in this video I'm going to talk about how your period can actually be a blessing. And I know that sounds really crazy, but it really can. The first thing you need to do is tell yourself that it's a blessing and you're lucky to even have the period because it shows health. If you have your period every month, you're healthy, it's a good sign, because if you missed it or you're having irregular patterns of it, it's not always a good sign. And so the fact that you get your period, thank yourself. Look, be grateful. Yeah, I got my period this month. So it's something to be glad of, actually. So obviously there's the pain. I know period pain is really hard and it's really difficult to manage. But obviously if you need to take painkillers, take some painkillers. But there is a lifestyle that you can follow that will reduce that down. And if you're interested, get in touch, because it's something I can't fit into this video. But yeah, there's a whole routine you can start to follow to reduce that down. First thing you need to do is psychologically remember that it's not something to be feared, your female body. And one thing that this doctor talks about is how the fluctuation of hormones in your body can actually serve you in your emotional and transformational journey as a woman. So just before our period, I don't know about you guys, and I'm probably sure there's loads of you, but I definitely feel it. Like I feel heightened in my emotions and I feel more. And things come up and I end up maybe having awkward conversations or sometimes arguments with certain people in my life about things, and it's because these emotions have come up and I have trouble trying to control myself and not expressing it. Some people, they retreat and they listen to it themselves and maybe they deal with it that way, but I always end up acting on it. Anyway, so it causes us to do crazy things, and then you get labelled as having PMS. Again, it's viewed as like a bad thing, but actually what this does is it serves you as a woman because it allows you a chance to see things in your life that you're not addressing normally. So it allows you to fix things and resolve things, or transform yourself. And it's almost like you can view it as a gift, that it's been given as a purpose for you to transform yourself during this time of your period. So obviously that's just before your period, you get that hormone increase, and then you get all these emotions, and then you come off the period and you notice that you feel so much better, and it's because of this drop, because that emotion's not being brought forward into your life. A lot of pitta can come out around your premenstrual syndrome, so that's why you get the skin problems and emotional reactions and a lot of fiery reactions to things. It's because of this pitta, and then afterwards when you have the period it drops again. Something really interesting is that in menopause, once you've got through menopause, as an older woman, that hormone release that was there before your period in your younger years and that wisdom that's there that creates that emotional transformation all the time, it stays constant. So that's where this saying of being a wise woman comes from, because an older woman has that wisdom within her, and that's where it comes from. It's because of that hormone release. And I just wanted to do this video because I think it's a really big step if you're suffering with female problems. The first thing I think you need to do is to start recognising that the female body is not something to be feared, and the fact that you're told that you might get breast cancer, you might get cervical cancer, already that thought is being put into your mind. Like if I told you, oh, there's a bridge there, if you walk across it, don't fall off. The only thing you'll think about when you're walking across it is falling off. So be really careful about what you're being exposed to in the media with your health, because what they tell you is normally quite negative, and that negative viewpoint will go into your head. So this idea that we have to get tested all of the time is again something that you're looking for a problem. Like, are we looking for a problem? I'm not against testing. I think it's really important, to get checked, and if you notice something, definitely get it checked out. But don't create this fear in your mind that it's likely that I'm going to get it, that's why I have to get checked. Oh, my mother had it, so I should get checked. And obviously, like I said, I think there's truth to these things, but don't take it so heavily and let it take over your brain to create fear within yourself, because actually it's that fear that can cause it. So you've got to learn to wipe that out. Empower yourself. Don't be such at the mercy of something else. There's this problem where we're always looking outside of ourselves for validation of our health, but really you can do it yourself, and you won't need to get all these tests done just to be told that you're healthy. You can feel it. So yeah, girls, if you're having any period problems or hormone problems, get in touch, because I might be able to help you in some way with advice or Ayurvedic medicine. But don't suffer in silence. Learn to appreciate and love your body. Use that time to make positive changes in your life. Do some meditation, do some manifestation, and use your womanhood. Be proud that you're a woman, and use that feminine energy to create. That's what we're here as women. It's our powerful force, is to be creators and nurturers. And so use your hormonal cycles for this, because it's for our purpose. So thank you.